Drive ignition.
This is Actar's Reviews, from anime to figures and beyond. Hey, this is Actar and you're watching another episode of Actar's Figure Reviews. Now, one of my more popular series of reviews, besides my Code Geass Figure Reviews, is my Figma Figure Reviews. And as a consistent Figma Figure Reviewer, I try my best to review as many Figmas as emotionally and financially possible. I do this because I want you guys to know how I feel about the Figma figures that are constantly being released, and to allow you to decide whether the Figma figure is worth buying or not, and to show you what comes with each figure and what you can expect when you buy them. First, I believe it is my duty to celebrate the first anniversary of the Figma figures, even though the anniversary was about 5 months ago, but that's besides the point. And I have here with me today the Figma Archetype She. So this figure is actually a special edition figure that's released to coincide with the first anniversary of the Figma figures, which is on the 14th of February 2009. So as you can see, the packaging of this Figma figure in particular is very different from the usual boxed packaging of the regular Figmas, in the sense that it is actually a carded figure, and of course the ability to see everything that is included inside. So at the back of the packaging, we can actually see the first anniversary of the Figma figures, the number Archetype She. The product number is of course a special one instead of a normal number. You get 00 female sign, and this is the actual date of the Figma's first anniversary, and as I said before, it's the 14th of February 2009. And of course over here we see all the information that use safety information, product information, so on and so forth, but it's entirely in Japanese. Other than that, well, there's actually nothing else. So let's actually open this package up and take a look at the contents inside. Alright, so first of all, let's take a look at this card. We can see that the card is designed with a red color scheme, and it is really stylish. We have Figma Archetype She, the MX Factory Masakeyapsi, which is of course Good Small Company action figure series, and the date for the Figma's first anniversary. Really nice card design. And here is the Figma Archetype She figure. Well, it is really transparent. As you can see my hand that is showing through the figure itself, and because of its transparency, you can actually see all the Figma joints that are implemented, that are used in the figure through the clear plastic. And I have to say, it is very interesting to actually finally get to see all the different joints and how much articulation, how many points of articulation the figure actually has. Because of course, as you can see with the previous releases behind, most of the Figma figures have soft PVC clothes, and you can't really see the maximum, you can't really see the full potential of the Figma figures. And just quickly point out that it actually has a rubber, well, I guess this would be underwear, rubber piece of underwear that's made of soft PVC. But setting this aside, let's take a look at the accessories which the figure comes with. And like usual, it comes with a standard Figma Ziploc bag, nice to keep all your accessories. It comes with a Figma base, and of course we have the 3-jointed Figma stand. So bringing the figure back, let's take a look at the articulation of this figure. And of course, when I say articulation of the figure, I mean all the articulation of all the Figma figures that have been released, because the articulation is pretty much the same for all the Figma figures. So for the head, we can turn side to side, forwards and backwards, up and down. And this figure does come with a removable face piece, just like the rest of the Figma figures, but unfortunately the one on mine is slightly loose, but it does stay on, so no worries there. For arms, you have full range of motion, forwards, backwards, can move in and out. You can actually rotate at the arm as well, rotate at the shoulder, forwards and backwards for the elbows, and you can turn side to side to a small extent. And for the wrists, we have a full range of movement, forwards and backwards for the hand, and you can turn at the wrist. So over here we can see that there is a chest joint included with this figure. That's just well under her chest. And I do believe that this has been seen only on a few figures, such as, if I'm not mistaken, most prominently on Choyusha Haruhi and the Figma Mikuru Combat Waitress version. And over here we can see the double jointed waist, once at the waist itself and once at the legs or above the legs. So this really allows for a huge range of dynamic posability. So the legs, you can move forwards and backwards, and you can move in and out. You can rotate at the legs as well. For the knees, forwards and backwards. It can turn slightly side to side, but not so much. And last but not least, for the feet, move forwards, backwards. You can turn side to side, and you can turn side to side this way as well. So overall, like all the other Figma figures, this figure possesses a huge range of articulation. But in terms of play value, I wouldn't say that there is a lot of play value with this figure, and I suppose this is only supposed to be some sort of a commemorative figure more than anything else. And one of the things I can actually think of using this figure for is to exchange body parts with the regular Figma figures to actually simulate becoming invisible. But it is really nice, and if you're a Figma fan, I highly recommend actually tracking this one down. So this figure was actually released quite a while back, as I've said, to coincide with the February 14th first anniversary, but Good Smart Company has only started shipping their online pre-orders recently, and I just got mine last week. So I'm actually really happy to receive this figure. And of course, as I've said previously, there is a male counterpart to this figure. So if you're a fan of the Figma series, if you're a fan of the Figma figures and just want a piece of the history of the Figma figures, I highly recommend you track one of these down. I don't believe these are going for that high a price as compared to the other Figma exclusives. So, well, this is Zachar saying, see you guys in the next episode.
鈴宮は自律進化の可能性を秘めている。おそらく彼女には自分の都合のいいように周囲の環境情報を操作する力がある。それが私がここにいる理由。あなたがここにいる理由。信じて。